tremendous looking trophy.
Hello and welcome to Platinum Explosion, number one PlayStation podcast in the Oceanias. My name's John Blight. Joining me, as always, Ashley Hobley.
Hey Dylan, excited to be here at the start of an exciting week.
It is an exciting week. So obviously, let's get this. Actually, no, fuck it. I'm just gonna put this first. Let's get this out of the way. Let's just shuffle my notes around as we're doing it live. It's fine. So let's PlayStation blog, right? You're invited. PlayStation Showcase 2021 broadcast this Thursday. Sid Schumann writes on the blog, you've been awfully patient and we thank you for that. And now we're looking forward to showing you what we've been working on. Tune in it's our Australian Friday at 6 a.m. Tune in this Australian Friday at 6 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time to look into the future of PS5. The showcase will weigh in at around 40 minutes, include updates from PlayStation Studios and some of the industry's most imaginative developers for games releasing this holiday and beyond. And stick around after the presentation to get some more updates from some of the studio teams featured in the showcase. One thing to note, PlayStation's next generation of VR won't make an appearance this time, but there will still be plenty of great PS5 games from developers large and small. We hope you can join us. So, when was I complaining? Maybe 3 weeks ago? I think I spent like a majority of the episode just complaining about PlayStation not doing anything and like wanting to prod them with a stick or whatever and be like, move, damn you.
You're still alive.
Yeah.
Like a turtle.
Episode 223. So 3 episodes ago, 18th of August, the episode was titled, Where the hell is the next big PlayStation showcase? The answer is this week. Funnily enough, that episode where it's titled Where the hell is the next big PlayStation showcase is a 40-minute episode of Platinum Explosion. Did I know? Was it all planned? I don't know. The moons aligned or something. I don't really know. So obviously I'm excited. I don't really want to do a look, I'm going to be honest, this may be a relatively short episode because like we're just going to do one later in the week. We'll have one up Friday night after the showcase and everything. We'll be discussing what's shown during the showcase, and that's going to be the most exciting PlayStation stuff of the week. I know there's been some articles that like, here's the rumored things or here's like potentially leaked things. Because it's only a couple days away, I'm not looking at them and I can't be fucked talking about them at this stage. Just going to.
Oh, wow. Lucky listeners.
I mean, if you want to, because, you know, I saw some.
I haven't really particularly looked up anything. I think I just saw one that's saying maybe there's a new Infamous, like, or something is like pretty out there or that kind of stuff. But yeah, I expect we'll see God of War. I will expect we see Gran Turismo, and potentially just more Horizon stuff. But other than that, it's like anything is possible.
Yeah, I'm gonna say God of War teaser trailer or like an actual book of their title card, or hey, an official title maybe that would be even good. Gran Turismo for sure because we haven't seen anything since the original thing, so that makes sense. And otherwise, I don't know if we see Horizon because I feel like they've shown a lot, and I'm kind of like, you can chill for a bit. Maybe a short new trailer, unless they actually have a new thing to announce, like the rumored co-op mode thing or something. Otherwise, just show me a trailer. I don't really need a gameplay deep dive. Like you did an entire state of play for Horizon.
Yeah, absolutely.
So maybe do another one of those closer to its now official release date if you want. Because that seems to be a common thing now. PlayStation just do state of plays for games like a month before their release date, like a deep dive one. So other than that, the most exciting part is the 30 minutes after all of that, because that probably takes up about 10 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
30 minutes of unknown. Awesome. Give it to me. Can't wait. Excited.
Yeah.
New games, big and small, hopefully. AAA things, indie things. I don't know.
Like maybe Blue Point's next game. The one they've been teasing that's huge. Now that they own them.
that came out. Ash. It was the Demon Souls.
No, but they were working on a second one.
Oh yeah, that's true. There was two games, two big ones, two big boys. from amongst those list of 18 games that they tweeted or whatever.
What was it? Legend of Dragoon.
Yeah, that one dude on our YouTube comments. Shout out.
Very officer. Shout out. Yeah, I mean, it's very exciting. I expect a lot of indie games, like potentially stuff that we've seen before, like but with dates, and then stuff we haven't seen that is coming soon. So yeah, lots of stuff to get excited for.
I love how they say you've been patient. No, they haven't.
No,
everyone's been like, but
don't be condescending.
The PlayStation fan base or community or whatever we're gonna call it has been pretty much like, can you show us something? Like, give us something. Like,
give me the thing that I want.
Yeah. Cool. Excited. Friday. Come back. Podcast feed. We'll be talking about it. There'll be stuff on explosionnetwork.com covering it, of course. All that. Exciting times. Good times. The biggest thing of the week. Let's rewind a bit before we get into the rest of the news stories. Let's talk about the one big PlayStation game that I've been playing. That I have. I'm trying. Let me put it this way: the embargo was Monday. Hadn't beat it then. I woke up we're recording this Tuesday morning. I woke up at 5 a.m. this morning because I was like, give myself let me get up real fucking early and let me give myself the time. We're going to record this podcast at 10. Give me plenty of time to beat it. I've been doing the same boss fight for like 2 hours. So that's where I'm at currently. So I haven't finished it.
So your ability is holding you back from finishing this game.
I need to get good, as the kids say. Yeah. So I'll come back to that. But let me rewind. Of course, hashtag F.I.S.T Game of the Year 2019 is what we've been claiming for this game since 2019. If you're a long-time listener or if you're a new-time listener. So this game, F.I.S.T, it was just known as Project F.I.S.T when it was revealed. Yes. And it was just a trailer during one of the did I just call
China Showcase?
China Showcase, yeah. Whatever. I can't remember the official name, but yeah. And a bunch of cool games in there, but F.I.S.T stood out because it had like a rabbit with a fucking metallic fist arm thing punching things. I was like, this is fucking sick. Let's go. And I mean, that's the that's the premise of the game.
Thank God we jumped on this one.
So we kind of ran this into the ground to be a meme on the show, of course. So I've been excited for this game to finally come out. I did talk about it briefly on here at some stage because I did get to play the demo. Now, I'll say straight away, a lot of stuff I played in the demo changed for the full game. They changed it, like not just level design type stuff because obviously it was a demo, but I mean mechanically in the game it's a lot different to the demo, so that was interesting. But at its core, the game is about a rabbit. The whole planet that you're on is like anthropomorphic animals or whatever you want to call it. I think they call them, everyone refers to them as furtisans because furry citizens, I guess, is the play on words there. But basically there was like a great war prior to the game started where robots from somewhere have sort of like taken over the planet or like taken over your planet of furry animal friends. And there's like bears and whatever else. There's like also there's rats. There's a whole heap of animals, right? But robots are the bad guys. And early in the game, you pick up as Rayton, who just goes by Ray. He's like the character you play as a bunny rabbit. And he like fought in the Great War or whatever, but then lost. And then he's sort of just a washed up, just like spends his day drinking now. But then early in the game, his friend, whose name, I think it's like Urso or something, which makes sense, I guess, because he's a bear. He like gets kidnapped by the robot bad people. So he's like, oh, fuck this shit. I gotta go save him. And then because he goes on this mission to save him, he just sort of events unfurl from there until it's like, oh no, plot to end the world type thing. We gotta save the day now. Gameplay wise, it is a Metroidvania. Through and through, this is a Metroidvania in which you start with simple abilities, simple attack. You start with his Ray just has a fist, like a mechanical fist. You can do a heavy attack. You can do a light attack. You can throw enemies, and you got like just a jump, no double jump or anything like that. Nothing crazy. And that's sort of how it starts. And then as you venture to the first area, whatever you want to call it, dungeon, I don't know. And you venture through that, you unlock like a new ability thing. Shortly after that, you unlock there's by the end of the game, there's a total of 3 different arms that you can switch out on the fly, and the second one you get's like a drill that can be used as, so for combat it like is really good for AoE type stuff, and then also for environmental exploration you can use it as a propeller to go up like wind shafts and stuff like that. And then the third weapon thing you unlock later is it's a whip, so, and that allows you to do very Ori and the Will of the Wisps, or just Ori, I guess both games, things where you sort of propel yourself towards or like whip onto things that are around areas and you can like shoot, and that leads to some platforming sections like Ori where you like sort of like there's spikes everywhere and you're trying to like shoot yourself around, double jump off walls and all this sort of shit. But yeah, it's a Metroidvania where you've got exploration, platforming sections. There's plenty of secrets to be found, from posters, seeds, health upgrades, all this sort of stuff. But it basically, it's like you go to a section, it's like you need to find a thing in here, you have to explore, solve some puzzles, defeat a bunch of enemies, boss fight at the end, get the item, go back to talk to people, get story element, head off to another. And it does a really cool Metroidvania thing where you can always open the map and like when you start, you just have the town filled in or whatever. But then as you start exploring, it all like starts interconnecting. So you like, you know, eventually you'll go to like the sewers and that connects, and there's like an exit in the sewers that loops back to another area you'd explored previously, but you unlocked that with a power you hadn't unlocked before. And yeah, by the end of the game where I'm at now, you can open the map and like every area that you go is like sort of interconnected, and you can find ways to reach there differently, and you unlock fast travel shortcuts and stuff like that if you want to come back later and try and find all the collectibles and 100% the game, of course. Combat is interesting. So the one thing that they changed between the demo and this is, in the demo they had a thing where you could actually parry and counter attacks. And I'm sure if you go back and listen to me talking on here, I talk about how it took me a second to get used to, but I eventually ended up liking it. That's not in the game anymore. There's no parry block. In that system, it was so an enemy would like glow or whatever, and you could just simply press like left or right depending on which direction you're facing. Being a 2.5D action game, side-scrolling Metroidvania type thing, you would just press left or right to block them in time of the attack, and you could parry and open them up. Instead, you get a item early in the game that allows you to sort of parry attacks. However, it's shit, and I never use it because you have 3 charges. I can't remember what the official wording for it is, but you have like 3 charges for this particular thing. So you could perform 3 parries before you sort of, until you reach like a checkpoint, then it stops recharge. Like it doesn't recharge over time during a fight. So, but also that same 3 charges can be used to drink carrot juice, which restores a chunk of your health during a fight. So most of the time I found I would rather just keep that energy in those 3 charges to use for the carrot juice stuff. Or even if I don't think I'll need that, you unlock like a gun later in the game that you can use one of those 3 charges to shoot that does a fair chunk of damage. So the parry tool is the least likely thing I want to use. So that was a weird change for the game. Otherwise, it's more, so if you're fighting like a crowd of enemies, they'll glow red when they're going to do like a big super fuck you, like sort of back away from attack. So you get the gist of it, and you unlock a dash and all this sort of stuff. But you're basically going in like combo, attack, back out. And the game is built around a lot of combos. There's a lot of in-depth ones that definitely feel like you're playing a fighting game to a degree, which of course I talk about. I don't really like fighting games, so like I'm not particularly good at remembering like square, triangle, circle, X, all these sort of things to do them. But you do get like, you can unlock simple ones where it's just like square, triangle performs like a move that'll like fling the enemy up in the air sort of thing, or like square, triangle, wait a second, triangle will do like a heavy combo attack or whatever else. Like there are simple enough ones that you learn. You don't feel like you are completely fucked. And then you can also unlock with coins that the robots drop and they're like discs or something. I can't remember what they're called. Anyway, you find them like in the world, secret areas and stuff like that. You can use that to upgrade to unlock special attacks too that use a charge. So these ones are all right. I wish the charge system worked the same as the health parry system. So the health parry system, as I said, 3 charges. If you use it all in combat, they don't slowly recharge over time or anything like that. So the special attack system, so say a special attack's like jump into the air, press down and triangle, and you'll do like a big like spinning attack or something. It takes 1 charge out of this block and you have 3 charges. However, that one builds up by attacking enemies. So you can use special attacks, and as long as you get back into the fight or whatever, or if you're doing a boss fight, as long as you get some hits back in, you can build charge back up. I kind of wish that the health one just recharged really slowly. Because often, especially now where I'm at, and I could honestly complain about this because my big negative for the game currently is the difficulty spike in the last section of the game is fucking dumb. Like, and it may just sound like I'm complaining because I can't fucking beat this stupid boss fight. But up until this stage, the boss fights were challenging, but they weren't like want to chuck your controller across the room. You know, like a bunch of them took me several goes, but I was like, oh yeah, I fucking like, oh, he does that attack in his 3rd phase. No worries, I'll just remember that next time. And you know, they were challenging, that they weren't the end of the world. This motherfucker, not to mention, I don't think this is a big spoiler, but fuck it. Like, video game that has 2 phases. Like, so you do one fight against this motherfucker. I do one fight. And it took me probably 90 minutes, right? When I beat him, I literally screamed, "Get fucked, you fucking cunt," at my TV because I was so over fighting this motherfucker. And I was like, thank God. End of the game, awesome. That was a pain in the ass fight, but you know what? I feel good. Cool. Anyway, it does this next section where it's like a bunch of like platforming stuff and like puzzles and whatever, and you got like flicks and switches on. I'm like, all right, maybe like after this cutscene. Anyway, you turn on this elevator, and I go up it. It's like, are you ready to start your second fight with insert name here? I'm like, no, don't please. And then I click yes, and of course it goes up, and you're doing the same fight again, but the same bad guy is like way more armored up, and he's got like a massive fucking spear, and it's just like way harder. I'm like, it took me 90 minutes, and now I've been trying to do the second version for like longer. Fucking, it's gonna take me like 4 hours to beat this fucking one person. It's ridiculous.
Maybe you're missing someone.
Oh no. It is simply a matter of don't.
Skill.
Like, it is. So.
There's no difficulty options?
There is no difficulty options. It is one difficulty, get fucked. Just get good. But this is the thing, like, that type of thing. I don't mind if a game has one difficulty. I'm just like, that means you have to have like an even difficulty that makes sense. And yeah, that's why this is sort of my big complaint, where the whole game, I'm like, I got an idea for the game's difficulty. Like, it's challenging, but not super hard. And then you get to the last section, and it's like, nah, mate. We're suddenly like a boss rush mode. Because there was a boss before this dude, the last boss, that was like a mini boss. And I was like, you have 3 health bars. Why? You're like the first boss in the game that has like 3 health bars for some reason. You're a mini boss. And he took me a fucking while to do. And then I was like, Jesus Christ, I hope the last boss isn't too hard. And then the other thing that's been annoying me is every time you load into the fight, you have to watch the same cutscene and you can't skip it. So I'm doing that whole thing like, nah, fucking shut up, fucking evil bad guy speech, blah, blah, blah. Just let me fight you, cunt. Fuck off. Doing my head in. Yeah, so that's my one negative. The pluses are everything prior to that I was really enjoying. The story is actually quite interesting. Just the general sort of like world that's set up and stuff like that. I don't know. I have a soft spot, I guess, for weird universes where animals are talking or something like that. I don't know. Maybe something inside me just likes these sorts of characters and stuff like that. But in general, it's just sort of everyone knows each other. Grand scheme take over the world, and you do get cutscenes and conversations between characters. The only negative that brings it down, as much as I'm like, yeah, like I'm enjoying these characters and I'm enjoying this world and whatever else, the only thing that really ruins it is the voice acting is fucking terrible at times. Ray's voice acting is pretty rubbish, to be honest, and he's the main character. So, and you can very obviously tell that it was recorded like not people together, but every voice actor was sort of doing their own thing and separate. Because you know, there's times where Ray will be having conversation with this. There's a cat character in the game, and she's all her lines are good, but there's one I had recently where she's like, like she delivered out of tone, and then she's like, I got to do this thing, and then the way Ray says like, yeah, like it's just like so unnaturally, just like it was like the script had an apostrophe or whatever at the end. I don't know, like it's just, and then like delivered it, and it's just, yeah, there was like no voice structure or whatever. So that's sort of brings down the story at times. It's just sort of weird to listen to. But otherwise, it looks really good too. I think the art design and stuff like that. So you got this whole what do you call it? Diesel punk, I guess. Yeah, diesel punk aesthetic world thing happening. The main city, which I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but the main city which you can return to, and there's sort of characters you can, like one of the collectibles is seeds, so you can come back to the main city and there's a character that you can give these seeds to, and they'll give you like money you can spend and like upgrades and stuff like that, or it's a couple other characters that you can buy stuff off, or like a training area of dummies and stuff like that. Always in the background, or several times, like if you're walking across a bridge or something, the game has a lot of what do you call it, like animated backgrounds, you know, like, so it's a 2D game, but you got the whole like the stuff happening in the background often at times, and in the city you can see like cars or stuff like that happening, and it looks really cool. It reminds me of the fuck is the Final Fantasy 7 city? Midgar, yeah. It has like a very Midgar feel, because it's, yeah, I guess it's the same sort of diesel punkish like thing, and you got like the slums feeling, and just the general design of the city, I guess, has like a Midgar feel. And even like, I don't think this is a spoiler, but there's like a section, there's a time where you like venture outside the city to like a mountain-esque area, and even that was reminding me of something from like Final Fantasy 7, which we haven't got to in the remake yet, but like, I mean, like a design point from the original game. I don't know if that's on purpose or just like just because it's like, maybe they're both just based on this whole diesel punky aesthetic or whatever else. But yeah, the art design is really cool. Everything, character designs to the location designs, like everything stands out and looks really, really cool. The boss designs and all these things, even this motherfucker who's kicking my ass, like, he's cool, whatever, he sucks, but he's cool. On PS5, which is where I've played it, I've no problem running it. It seems to run at solid 60 fine. Even though I haven't tried on PS4, I will put an asterisk on and say that they did, when they sent the code, they did give warning, like apparently PS4 is the worst place to play. Base model PS4, it sounds to me like they were like, not, hey, if you're playing it there, maybe don't like, make sure you mention that if you have it in like videos or screenshots. Like, it sounded like they were very like, you know, like that's the one to sort of stay away of. So be wary of that for sure. PS4 Pro, I guess, would be fine, but PS5, I'm definitely not having any problem with. But otherwise, I'm enjoying it. Other than the boss part, it's, as long as I can come out and beat this boss eventually and walk away and not feel as angry as I'm currently, it'll be in my, you know, whatever, top 5 of the year probably, or whatever else. Like, it is, it's not it hasn't lived up to the hashtag game of the year, but we've also had a bunch of other really cool things this year, including PlayStation's own Returnal, which, I don't know, obviously it's like, I would say Returnal and Death's Door are my top 2 currently, and I don't know what my 3rd or 4th or whatever else would be, but this is in the top 5, I would say, currently. But yeah, it's like, if you don't like Metroidvanias, you're probably not going to like it, because that's what it is through and through. And the last section of the game sucks ass, and maybe, and honestly, I think that's sort of the big negative at the moment, is because a lot of people it's not just my thing, it's also a thing of like, a lot of people may play this game for the 10 hours or whatever to reach this point, and then they won't be able to finish it because the difficulty spike is just absurd. Like, there's no other boss fights to this level in the game, really. There's actually a sequence right prior to this that was bullshit as well, where the game really tries to be like Ori level escape sequence. Like, the original Ori had this this thing where you would go into these areas and then at the end the boss fight or the whatever you want to call it was like a big escape sequence where you had to like quickly like escape from upwards bottom to up to top of the screen, like jumping off things and platforming. This has like one sequence like that, but it just wasn't designed as well, and I was like, this is sort of frustrating, but sure. It wasn't that long or annoying, but yeah, it's weird. There's a lot of influences in this that sort of I feel stand out, or maybe I'm just reading between the lines or whatever else, but I'm really enjoying it. Look for my review if I finish it this week. I fucking don't know if I can finish it. Of course that'll be up, but yeah. And it's like, yeah, it probably took me like 10 hours to reach the final section and then however long I'm going to take to beat the boss or whatever. So it's quite a lengthy game, just core content wise, let alone if you were trying to 100% it, like get all collectibles and trophies and stuff. I reckon that would take you at least double or something. So you'd be looking at least like 20, 25 hours to 100% this, which is a lot for a little Metroidvania indie game or whatever like this. And I think it's only like $45 Australian or some shit. Like it's not even that expensive. Well worth the dollars. So that is F.I.S.T. That is F.I.S.T. It's finally out. You can play it now. Beat it before me somehow. Probably will. Maybe you're all better than me. I don't know.
Sounds good. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm keen to play it, but it's also coming in like an awkward period of time where it's like this week, New Life is Strange drops. Next week's Deathloop.
Are you actually playing
and
that?
It's the week after. I think so. Maybe. I don't know.
You haven't played any of the others though, have you?
I've played like 2 episodes of the first one.
Okay. Yep. That's I'll talk
like in general, yeah.
Maybe I'll give an update next week if I've beat it, or Friday quickly if I've hopefully I do beat it. I've got so close, like
Are you getting that plat?
I would like to, because I feel like if the hardest part is simply beating the game, the rest is just going back to areas and just cleaning up with collectibles, which you couldn't do the first time because it's that whole thing of, you're exploring an early area in the game and there's a door you can't get through or an area because you don't have the right ability yet. So you can't 100% it until you have all the abilities and whatever else unlocked anyway. So, but I would like to. It seems like a potentially easy platinum as long as the hardest part is simply beating the boss. Yeah. And I would like to have the platinum for meme sakes because talked about it so much.
Yeah.
I feel obligated. All right, let's go up into just a couple news stories before we wrap up for this week. Or for today. Yeah, not for this week because we'll be back. So, PlayStation Plus games for September will be out by the time you're listening to this, I guess. Hitman 2 is the first year games. And the second one is Overwatch. Oh, sorry. Fuck that game. Overcooked. Overcooked, whatever, the full one.
All you can eat.
All you can eat. There you go. That's cool, I guess. How do you
also
feel?
get Predator Hunting Grounds.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Predator Hunting Ground. How do you feel about that one?
Don't worry, this Kotaku article also forgot. So, it's fine. It's a pretty pretty bland one. It seems odd that it's Hitman 2, considering Hitman 3 is the most recent release. It's like, why are we getting the old one? And then, yeah, it's like an odd month. Like, 2 of these games are really old. The third one is a game that they're a multiplayer game that I'm sure they're putting on PS Plus to try and get more players in, that kind of thing. So, I don't know.
Did we ever play Predator
average.
like when it was a free thing? Did we do that?
Yes, we did.
We did. Okay, and then I played the full release by myself for the review.
Pretty sure, yeah.
It would be all right. I wouldn't mind jumping back in to see if they've added enough
stuff
to improve it. Because, like, I mean, I like Predator. I like these sorts of games where one team's playing as the hunters, and the other team. Well, you playing as the hunter as a predator, and the other team's like the prey. It's a cool idea. I wonder if they've just. I know they've constantly been like sort of adding stuff to it, whatever else, but
yeah.
So maybe I could, if I find the time or whatever, we could jump in for a night,
like a stream night or something.
Yeah. See how it goes or something. But yeah, Overcooked, all you can eat. I've had since the PS5 launched. Originally was going to do a review for it. The fucking online multiplayer would not work. It does work now, but just haven't had time to go back to it. But they took over 6 months. And I emailed them, hey, why is this a thing? Oh, yeah, it's a problem we're having in Australia. All right, cool. I'm like, well, I can't play online multiplayer. I'm not playing the fucking game. So I didn't review it. There's behind the scenes of that. That was the whole point. I'm like, well, if I can't play Overcooked multiplayer, am I really playing Overcooked?
Can't give it a fair review, yeah.
The answer is no. So, and the servers were they wouldn't work. And the fact that I emailed them and they said, yeah, it's a thing in Australia. But they weren't like, or they were like, we're just working on it. I'm like, because periodically, me and Buddy, shout out Buddy from Radio Watson, would periodically just give it a go, like every like off month or whatever. Wonder if it's working. Jump in, start game. Like, it would work for like 2 seconds, and then I'll be like, I'm moving. Can you see me moving? No. And the next second I'll be like, you've been disconnected or something. Like, it was fucked. Like, it was unplayable. You couldn't even force yourself to play it. It's fucking dumb. Hitman 2 I haven't played either. I played Hitman 1 and then Hitman 3 and I haven't finished either. No offense to those games. They're just, I don't know. I do like them, but just run out of time. Do something else. I don't know. Or I get too distracted because I'm trying to like complete all the objectives instead of just playing for each mission and beating the game. I'm just trying to 100% each level or whatever. All right, let's get into big talking point of the week. So, WellPlayed writes PlayStation reverses decision to charge for Horizon Forbidden West upgrade, but says future games will incur a fee. Earlier this week, PlayStation opened up pre-orders for Horizon Forbidden West while also revealing the Collector's Edition, Regala Edition, Special Edition, and Deluxe Edition of the game. However, one of the biggest takeaways from this announcement was that in order to have the ability to upgrade your PS4 version of the game to the PS5 version for free, you would need to purchase either the Collector's Edition, Regalia Edition, or Digital Deluxe Edition. Fuck, that's a mouthful. Naturally, this didn't sit too well with people, especially given that PlayStation had previously said that, quote, the PS4 digital versions of the launch games include a free upgrade on both PS5 consoles, while the PS4 disc versions of these games include a free upgrade on the PS5 with Ultra HD Blu-ray disc drive. When referring to Horizon Forbidden West in a blog post from September 2020. The other side of this is that PS5s are still hard to come across, making PlayStation's decisions even more bizarre. Right, Zach Jackson with the hot takes. The decision has been received a lambasting from players and critics alike, and it seems like PlayStation got the message. In an updated blog post, President and CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment, Jim Ryan, admitted that the decision to limit Horizon Forbidden West free upgrade was a poor one, before confirming that all purchases of Horizon Forbidden West on PS4 would come with a free upgrade to the PS5 version. However, Ryan's statement continued when he emphasized that all future PlayStation first-party exclusives, cross-gen titles, digital and physical, would be subject to an upgrade fee of US $10, approximately Australian $13, to upgrade from PS4 to PS5 versions. This includes the next entry in the God of War series, Gran Turismo 7, and future PlayStation first-party exclusives, of course, if they're releasing on PS4 and PS5. See how long that lasts. You got on Twitter and had a rant about this and went off. Yeah. You and Kieran just arguing backwards and forwards. I saw the other day. So, yeah, what's your thought?
My take, I think it's good that they've given the option to upgrade. I think probably it's a fair thing to give it to free for this one, seeing as they said that at launch, that there would be a free upgrade, and it's because it got delayed that it wasn't in that launch window. I think, PlayStation's perfectly in the right to charge for upgrading $10, which is a better option than you having to buy an entirely a new game, the game again on PS5. I think, this is apparently this is the only industry in which you can get a better version of a product and not have to pay anything for it. It's like, I bought a Blu-ray version of Skyfall on a JB. I should get a free upgrade to the 4K version. It's that kind of thought process that, I don't think is very fair and equitable, Especially when we know PS5 prices are higher than PS4 games at the moment. Why wouldn't they try and recoup some of the costs? of giving, instead of everybody buying a PS4 version and then getting a free upgrade to PS5. It's like kind of ridiculous, in my opinion.
Yeah, the only side I was on was that like just not letting you upgrade at all was dumb.
No, that was dumb. I think probably poor messaging from the start. Like
that was because that was stupid. Because it was like if you weren't giving people the option, the original outline was okay. If you're Joe Schmo who can't find a PS5 currently, but you want to play Horizon Forbidden West, and you started on PS4, but then you managed to get a PS5 8 months after the release, and you want to change, you literally had to buy the game brand new and weren't able to just pay that $15, $20 or whatever to just upgrade it. Like there was no upgrade path at all prior to this, which that was the dumb part. I didn't get. They were like, you can get both versions if you buy the digital one or whatever, or you have to buy the game again.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know whether like I said, there's just they forgot to mention that part that there was going to be an option. Yeah,
I don't know because it fits with their weird Spider-Man thing, where the only way you could get the remaster thing of Marvel Spider-Man was to buy the Ultimate Edition of Miles Morales, and they still haven't released that, have they?
The remaster? I don't know.
Yeah, it's still just if you buy it that way. Like they're doing a lot of weird. There's like if you look at the PS5, there's currently a bunch of really weird things that I'm like, okay, mate, not like that wasn't the end of the world, but like choosing not to have an upgrade path at all for Horizon. I reckon if no one complained that this is just them, this is what they were going to do. I don't think they missed. I think Jim Ryan gets up his head a little bit, gets his head out of his ass. Motherfucker, what are you doing over there? All we want is all most people wanted was an upgrade path. Hey, I understand that I need to be able to. I understand that there's.
I don't think that's what they only wanted.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of people who wish it was free, but I'm saying I can guarantee there was a lot of people also who were just like, I just want to be able to upgrade. How much does it cost? Can I just pay? Like not the full amount, but like what's the normal upgrade cost? So whatever they announce now, that whatever it was, like 15 Australian or whatever it'll end up being.
10 USD.
Yeah, so it'll actually, so Zach puts approximately 13 Australian. I guarantee it'll be like probably 15.
More.
It'll be more, yeah. That's all people want. Most people would want, I would presume. Most people would probably be happy to pay with that. There will be still people complaining because Xbox gives away the, if you buy any game Xbox One, you got the Xbox Series X version free or what no matter what, you're good to go. That's something that Sony's going to have to consistently fight against. But if they want to commit to going, look, we're not doing that. Our stuff's good shit. Our stuff's better than their shit, and you got to pay for it. I have no problem with that. That's a business choice that they can make, and that's theirs to do. But just not having the upgrade, I feel like that would have been the really dumb decision because you can fight the argument between Xbox and PlayStation if you're at least having that, look, theirs is free, ours is 15 Australian, but our games are better. It's like, oh, all right, 15 Australian to upgrade to the better version. All right, they say it's better, cool. But if they were like, no, you got to pay $125 on top of the 100 you spent originally to buy the original one when you didn't have a PS5, that's where they weren't going to win. That's just you just fucking sticking a nail in your own foot at that point. That's dumb. That's
I can't argue with that.
That's what I reckon. So yeah, Horizon.
I mean, yeah, especially now. It's obviously it's not the last generation where they're incompatible and that kind of stuff. So yeah.
No, it's just like a precedent, I guess. Like the thing is, if there's a precedent being set by Xbox, Sony needs to either do the same thing or do something else that's like going to fight and within. And that's what I'm saying. Doing the whole $15 charge thing. Don't know if that's the best choice for them, but if that's one I can be like, all right, well, that's your choice. But the no upgrade path at all, I would be like, what are you doing? That's silly. You're not even...
Dude, obviously this is in regards to first-party games. Do you think we're going to see a third party, like, say, no, there's no upgrade option?
don't know. That's all on them, I guess. Like Ubisoft has all the upgrade options. Activision's been doing it. EA's been doing it. Who else is there? What other big company is there?
That's it, I think.
That's probably it. The big three, I guess. Yeah. So the big three have all been doing like 3 free upgrades or costed upgrades. So like, you know, if you buy a digital version, and it will come up with like on the menu, you know, upgrade to the PS5 version for $20 or whatever. It would appear there next to the PS4 version of the game if you had the disc in or whatever. You know, Final Fantasy comes out. Square Enix, you know, upgrade. You got to pay, but they were all cheaper than buying the whole game again. There are various prices, but they were cheaper than buying the whole game again, which I guess is the important thing. And also shout out all those collector's editions and whatever else. I like how I just like, I had one of those moments where I don't think I would have pre-ordered one because I was like, whatever. But it was one of those things where, you know, go to work, go on lunch break. Oh, they announced a Horizon collector's edition. I wonder if that's sold out. Oh, it's definitely sold out. All right, cool. You know, it's just, I didn't even know it existed. And by the time I did, it was gone.
Yeah, absolutely. Interesting to see a lot of people upset that it doesn't come with a physical copy of the game.
The Regalia or whatever, the big expensive one.
Either of the collector's editions with like statues in that. They only come with a digital copy of the game, but they come with a steelbook. Obviously that's because they're selling a digital only PS5. And they want to sell these collector's editions to all their people, so. But yeah, seeing people upset that they didn't get a physical copy of the game was interesting. Because what, you want a physical copy so you can trade it in? Is that?
Probably. I don't know.
It seems weird.
As long as it comes with a steelbook, that's the important part, so.
An empty steelbook.
That's fine. You can technically buy the game later and just put the disc in.
That's true.
Which, if I was doing this, that's exactly the way I would think about it. I would be like, no problem. Get this now. Steelbook there. I'll wait like a year or so. Pre-owned copy or whatever. Buy the disc, put it in there, just for the sake of having it.
Or you could like buy the game physical copy and sell the digital code to somebody.
I mean, that's also, yeah. That would be an option, yeah. Exactly. There's ways around. When there's will, there's way. Last news story, which is an update for something we talked about last week. Well, like right at the end of the show, where I was like, I don't want to talk about this, but we talked about it, which is often what happens. Digital Foundry's initial testing of revised PS5 finds no difference in performance between launch and new models. A video published by YouTuber Austin Evans, in which he tested the revised PlayStation 5, created a hoopla when he concluded that the new model is worse than the launch model because of a smaller heatsink. Since then, a number of commenters have either disputed Evans' assessment or outright branded him a Microsoft agent. Meanwhile, the trusty Digital Foundry got its hands on the revised PS5 and published its initial impressions, much to everyone's relief. Let's cut right to the chase. No, the new PS5 isn't worse than the original model, as we reported yesterday. In fact, Digital Foundry found no noticeable difference in performance between the launch and revised console. Richard Leadbetter has been testing this CFI1100 series with Remedy Entertainment's control, noting that in the heavy area of the game, the new PS5 draws exactly the same max power as the launch unit. Yeah, so I just thought this was funny because last week I was like, you know when I'll care about this? When Digital Foundry does a video, then let's check out and let's see what they have to say about it. And then I'm pretty sure it was like the next day, or I don't know, like it was next day after we recorded, or even a day and a half later, or whatever. I saw this go up. I was like, lol. There we go. Save this one for next week's show.
Incredible.
So there's your answer to that.
Man.
Don't believe everyone's bullshit online. You know?
Yeah. So your PlayStation's not going to blow up.
Yeah, you can go buy a new PlayStation. Because you know what was going to happen if people started believing this? PlayStation 5s would have been coming in, and these motherfuckers would have been like, "Oh, is that the new unit? Yeah. Oh no, I don't want that one. I need the original." And everyone would have been like, "Well, they don't have any of the original. They literally all sold out. Like these are the one. These are the only option now." Oh, this is an outrage. Like you would have motherfuckers trying to sell the originals for more money.
Yep.
It would have been dumb if this had picked up more steam than it did. I was like, thank God. Take your PS5 if you can get one. Fucking hell, jeez. Alright. That's it. This week's episode of Platinum Explosion, number one PlayStation podcast in the Oceanias. We'll be back Friday. Again, I just want to mention in case you forgot.
Yep.
PlayStation Show, guys. Get excited. Letting us know any comments, questions, or concerns you have about the show, what you think is going to happen on Twitter or Discords. Head on over to explosionnetwork.com/Twitter. You can find all our Twitters there. explosionnetwork.com/Discord. Text you to our Discord. Come talk to us there. And if you liked the episode and thought it was worth $1 and or more, and would like to set up a recurring monthly payment, head on over to explosionnetwork.com/support, which takes you to our Ko-fi page. And until Friday, remember that every trophy counts. Hey, don't forget you can subscribe to the show wherever you're currently listening, and you can drop a review if you can. Find more great shows like this and more content over at explosionnetwork.com, and please consider supporting us for as little as $1 over on our Ko-fi page by heading to explosionnetwork.com/support. Thanks for listening.